everyone, this is Ava Chiao from Independence High School, part of Eastside Union High School District. In this video series, it is on the Google Forms. This is the second video that will point out how you can assign quizzes to the students and looking at the various questions on Google Form. How are we going to share this with our students within Google Classroom? You could do an assignment. So this is my demo quiz. This quiz demonstrates all various questions Google Form offers, and then you guys can fill in this stuff. I want to show you, if you were to go to add and create a link, the link will look like this and they'll still be able to access it. Ensure that the students are logged into their account. The other way is to add in the actual link of the form by going into Google Drive and inserting it that way, and it will look like this. Either way, when you do that, it will ensure that the students logged into their school Gmail account. We're going to move on to various question form. I'm going to go ahead and click on my demo quiz, and this is going to be the editing form. I know it's an editing form because I have options to control the title. When you first click on here and I click plus, it'll give me the question right below it. In here, this is your typical question. By default, they'll give you a multiple choice because that is the most often used. We're going to go over all of these examples since I just pulled that up and we don't need it. If you want to delete something and you don't like the question that you created, you're going to hit delete and it disappears. Types of questions. Each is an example of a type of question that can help you convey your questions to the students. And if you are to add in an extra question, depending on where you are clicked, it will add it right underneath. So for example, right now I'm clicked on this picture, it highlights it blue, but if I want to put a quiz question right underneath it to demonstrate you their default quiz, I'm going to hit add question, and it adds a question, and by default it adds a multiple choice question. Of the different kinds of questions they offer, here are the plethora of questions. Yes, we're going to go over it. Since I already have these populated to make things faster, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And that's where you delete a question. So, quiz, this is my title. You'll have a place to put your description of your quiz. Choose the best answer, or you can explain more if you want. This form is collecting email addresses. If you want to change it, this is a quick link to change it if you forgot where to put it. Types of questions. This is kind of like a title. Each is an example of the type of question that can help you convey your questions to the students. As you notice that when I click on these sections, they have submenus. Most of the times, the submenus you can add in. This is the description part. Let's go ahead and go over our first type, short answer. What are the best methods for getting to school for you and environment? And then I have a description here. Answer in complete sentences. Give at least 3 answers. So those are my instructions. I can take that off and the description will disappear. If you do that, your text disappears. So you have to go ahead and type it in again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Take off description. And then when I add in description again, it disappears. But I went ahead and copied it so it would be easy to go back. Their answers would be answered here in short answers. So for short answers, if you have keywords that you're looking for students to have the correct answer, you can go ahead and click on answer key. When you click on answer key, you will just see this add in the correct answer. So I went ahead and put in the possible answers. Walking to school, skateboarding, running, riding the bus, I carpooled. If they mention any of these, they'll get the answer correct. In this sense, they don't have to meet all of the answers to get it correct. And then there's a check mark to mark all other answers incorrect. As long as they mention one of these, their answer will be correct. And then the feedback for all answers, if the students get it incorrect, you can use this space to put in the correct answer and tell them why that is not the correct answer. I just say try your best if you think your answer is correct, and if it isn't, please see me during office hours. and I hit done. Once I hit done, it goes back and toggles back to the non-answer key. Usually they have this on default, so you can just toggle the required questions if you don't have to. The other feature on every one of these is you can duplicate it. So if you took the time, you don't want to make another one, and it's only a small change, hit duplicate. Of course, there's the delete button. The second type of question is a paragraph question. This is not really gradable. So you have your question and they have the longer answer. People were wondering, what is a character limit? Well, for this, I've had students write 2 to 3 sentences and there was no problem. I don't know exactly what the character or word limit is. However, for paragraph, obviously it's a lot longer than 2 to 3 sentences, so it's a good amount of space for students to enter. This is not really gradable. It has like an answer key to it. So let's go ahead and click on it just because this entire example is a quiz. It only allows you space for answer feedback. So it means Google Forms are not able to grade your paragraph formats. But when you add in a feedback, what does that look like? Now that we have a question that doesn't have feedback, you can type in your text, you can add in hyperlinks, and you can add in videos to help convey your message to the students. All right, the second type, I'm going to hit done so it goes back toggle to the question format, are multiple choices. All right, so it is an answer format. The multiple choice, we're going to click on that. You can see it's the third choice. It has a question. It has a description that I've added. What period are you in? And it has all these multiple choice questions. To add in the answer for that, and you want them to answer both, you have to create a separate option that requires both answers for it to be correct. Because you can click on butterfly and sunflower, and yeah, clicking on them will toggle between on and off for the correct answer. If you want either or, the answer butterfly or sunflower to get the correct points, you do that way. But if you want and butterfly and sunflower to be the correct question, you have to create another answer option so that it says both for it to be correct. I'm going to go ahead and hit done, and then it will show which one's the correct answer. Now for each of these answers, you have an option of adding an image as part of the answer. The other thing is, I've made a note to myself in the description, is don't forget shuffle answer order. Before it said shuffle question order in one of these settings over here. Another way that you can further make it more difficult for the students to copy off of another is like for each question, the answers can be shuffled as well. And on the front end, they'll see that shuffled, and then on the back end, it'll put it in the right area of the Google form. The next one are checkboxes. Checkboxes, you're going to see that multiple choice and checkboxes are very similar. For checkboxes, it allows students to check more than one box for the answer to be correct. This was me inserting a picture, so I don't need that, so I'm going to remove this picture, and I'll show pictures in a moment. Here, what period in, what period are you in? So I have an answer. The students can check more than one for the correct answer. So let's go to answer key. Let's say the period is that. You can add in feedback if you want. And that way, both of these answers are the correct answers for checkboxes. Let's see what these look like on the front end. So here it is. Make sure that you're logged into your account. Here, type of the questions. This is what it looks like where you're asking a short answer. In the paragraph, there really isn't difference on the outside. What a multiple choice looks like. I went ahead and deleted before I reloaded it. So if I went ahead and reloaded something, it shows you with the new format. So you can tell that when you're multiple choice and checkboxes, they are very similar. All right, let's look at the next type of question. The next type of question is a drop-down menu. So a drop-down menu is just, I believe, just aesthetics. They get to choose one answer just like a multiple choice. However, in this question, I have a picture added. In each of these boxes for a question format, they can add in any picture as long as it's one of the question formats. So this particular one, when I add in a picture, it will populate a picture here. Now, let's go ahead and see what it looks like if I want to add in another picture up here in my checkbox. I'm going to hit add in picture. Then you have options: upload, camera, what is the active camera right now. This is a picture of me if I want to add that in. Your URL, your photos, and these are accessing your Google Drive photos. There's a separate folder for that. Your Google Drive itself, or if you can't find it, so these are what comes up from our melon gelato. You can click on it and insert it. Once you have it inserted, for instance here, the picture on the upper left hand corner will give you an option to align it if you want, change the photo if you didn't like it, or remove it. Adding in a caption will give it a caption below here. That's my caption. So now this is a picture that will help, and it's a drop down: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. You don't see the drop down options. If you want to do a quick review, you go ahead and go to the live version and it will publish the drop down option there. So usually when you click elsewhere, say like you want to see the live version of this, you unclick it and you scroll down and it shows you the live version. However, for the drop down, don't worry, it does not look like it, but when you actually go to the live version, it will give you the drop down. All right, the next option for a question is a file upload. This is a great feature if you are collecting data and using this form, and it could be a quiz, or this is a good example for a language teacher. How do you say my name is Eva in Spanish? So they can do an audio recording, which is one of the things that is kind of hard to do when we're distance learning. So anything that you want from the students, it's usually on default. It allows all types of files, but if you click on it, you can be really specific. I just want an audio file or a video and do it that way. You can limit how many number of files and what the maximum size is. It can go bigger than that, but if you want to change that, you click here and it'll go back. And one of the things down here after respondents you can change the maximum file. Right now on default it's 1 gigabyte, and that's usually sufficient unless a student is trying to submit a video, which is very data heavy. Okay, so the file upload answer key is 1 point. So if you say that they uploaded something, that you can give them 1 point, or if you not, you can change the points that way too. So each of the questions, the points, you can change them. So feedback for all answers, you might give them a reminder, make sure your response is clear and loud enough and in Spanish. And then you go ahead and click done. And this is what it looks like on the other end. It says, how do you say my name in Spanish? Do an audio recording, save it, and upload it to the quiz. So when you hit add file, you can add any file that's accessing their photos or wherever their media is, depending what device, and then they can get it from their drive as well. The next question, I'll show you guys 2 of them. How do you like your salsa? When I click on this, this will show me the linear scale, which is right after file upload. This is a question I created. It's really hard to know what these questions can do unless you have an example for it. So I have, how do you like your salsa? If I was to rank it from 0 to 10, and you can choose these numbers that you want. And then 0 is bell peppers, 10 is standard pepper spray. When I click on another link, it will show me what the published view looks like. So it's almost like a ranking scale. The next one here, this is multiple choice grid. You're going to see that multiple choice grid and the checkbox grid are very similar. Here I already have pictures added. So how would you rank these cookies? So in terms of rankings, first in the rows, I put in my cookies, and then I can rank it going sideways. And if I was ranking going sideways, it goes from heavily, Godsmack, and good, all the way to no, no thank you. I'm going to click on something else, scroll down, and you'll see the live view, how it's arranged. Here are your horizontal categories, and then students can rank them this way. Another one is when should we have class again? This is the published view of the checkboxes. Here in the multiple choice boxes, you can require a response for each row, so they have to answer each one if it doesn't matter how they answer it, and to allow them to continue. Either way, because of the rows, you have 6 options for that. That is how you're going to do the answer key, and they're 1 point each. If you don't have form on quiz mode, then they won't have those answer points. For the checkboxes, by default, can answer more than one question. The answer key here, it'll be a little bit harder. Not harder, but you can be more specific. What you actually can do is say, for them to choose, now if the content was different, you can choose, okay, for them to get the right answer, they have to click on Wednesday and they get 1 point. If they click on Monday, they can get 2 points. Or if they click on Friday on this day, they get 0 points or 1. So you actually have a little more flexibility of options for checkboxes, saying which answer has however many points, or maybe they have to check both answers here. The last 2 ones that we have is date and time. When you do want an answer in the date format, this is a great option for this. When's the last time you ate a banana? I put in a description, and right now it includes the month and the day. If I want to be more specific, I'm going to go here to include a time, and over here to include the year if needed on your calendar. This is time option. When do you usually eat dinner? You have an option, you can change it to duration as in how long. So those are all the options you have in the menu, different kinds of questions.